All right, welcome to the podcast, everyone. I'm Codie Grimsey, and this is our guest, Kyle. Help me with your last name.
Wisniewski is how I say it.
Wisniewski. Okay, you say is how I say it. How would other people say it? I think I say Wisniewski.
Yeah, it was Polish.
Okay.
And apparently they say W's as V's. So Wisniewski.
Oh, wow.
I think.
Yeah,
or maybe
sure.
Vish, like the S is a sh, so it's like Wisniewski.
Yeah. So your parents from over there?
My grandfather, so my father is half Polish.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but even in my family, like my uncle, he's got really into like trying to find our family and where they are, family trees and stuff.
Yep.
Actually, most of the family in the Ukraine. So
Okay.
it's big
Oh,
going
wow.
on there.
Yeah, shit.
I don't know him. So
I love the
don't
idea
feel
of
stressed.
like your uncle's telling everyone he's trying to like find the family tree, and I love the
Yeah.
idea of him going silent all of a sudden, and then everyone's like, "So what'd you find?" He's like, "Don't worry about it." Actually,
it's all good.
yeah.
But, they're on the good side. They're on the Ukrainian side.
Yeah, of course.
So that's all right.
Yeah.
So, he's very vocal about it.
Yeah.
But he says it differently. So I think he's tried to bring it back to the traditional way. So
Okay.
even
Yep.
inside our family, we say it differently.
And you guys, like when he says it, you just like roll your eyes, or you're like, no, your supportive family.
Well, I didn't know until like he came to one of my gigs once.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, down in Tasmania, I did a gig.
I love the idea of the MC introducing you, and he stands up. He's like, "Well, actually,
That's not correct. No, but afterwards, people were like, "Oh, you how do you know Kyle?" I was like, "Oh, yeah, he's my nephew." And then he must have said like his full name to someone. I mean, I was like, "That's way different to how I say it." So it's never come up in conversation that we say it differently. I've just heard him pronounce it to people.
Yeah.
Like, "Oh, that's way different to how."
what do
I
you
say
think
it.
of the intro that I gave you today? Wasn't a very good one, was it? Kyle. I
This
just
is
said
Kyle. What's your surname? Yeah.
Kyle. Kyle is a friend of mine. He's also a very funny stand-up comedian in Brisbane at the moment, but you are planning to move to Melbourne.
On Monday, flying down.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Straight after the Raw State Final.
Straight after.
Are you excited for that?
For flying down or for the
The final?
For both.
Are you nervous? Yeah.
Not really. Yeah.
I feel like you're doing the thing that so many people do every year, trying to downplay it. And like, yeah, you know, I feel like you are very funny, and I hope that you do a really good job there.
Yeah, thank you.
But,
No, I've got my goal, make the final. So,
Sure.
Yeah.
And you satisfied that already.
Yeah.
You
Anything
told me
extra?
off camera the national final.
Yeah, but that was off camera. Wasn't it?
Yeah, okay. All right. So you used to play cricket as well,
Did you play cricket? Yeah.
competitively
Yes. Yeah. Didn't
Yep.
just play in the park. Yeah, I played
in Tasmania.
in Tasmania. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then on the Gold Coast as well.
Oh,
I moved
wow.
Up here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Cool.
Yeah.
And what level did you get to?
So sort of there's like the main level where you get paid, called first class. You're not a cricket man, are you?
No,
So-
I hate cricket so much. I don't even know how the scoring works.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I don't have
It's a
any
boring
desire to learn. But anyway, like, so you got paid for it? or-
Yeah. Well, no, I'd put it in comedy terms. So
Okay, sure.
I guess I was like a good open micer. at cricket.
Okay.
Yeah. So I did a few gigs, a few games where I got paid.
Yep.
But not often. So normally I was just on the 5-7 minute spots. not
And did
getting
you
paid.
ever represent Tasmania in school or?
Did juniors with them.
Nice.
Yep. 17s, 19s.
Yep.
And then they have a second 11. But I played that, but that was only because everyone else who would have played wasn't around.
Sure.
So technically I did. But
Yeah. You like Tasmania?
yeah, it's nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
All I
beautiful
know
place.
about Tasmania is like Rosenhaven and what's that other one? Deadlock. Deadlock was made in Tasmania. Have you watched
just
Deadlock?
TV. Yeah, watch
yeah.
both. Yeah.
Great, hey?
Yeah, they capture Tasmania well. It's very small.
All the murder.
Yeah, murder, small. Well, it probably is. You know. It's
Okay.
like, yeah.
I think I've been to Tasmania once for swimming. I used to swim, and I remember it reminds me of the North Island of New Zealand, the landscape.
Yeah, fair enough. That'd be very similar. But the North Island, where's that line up? Is that line up to Gold Coast in terms of where it is on the map?
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
So I thought it'd be a
I don't know.
bit more like the South Island.
Just the
'cause they
sheep.
would line up.
No, it's certainly not the South Island. South Island's beautiful.
Yeah.
No, but it's no. The landscape, the sheep, the hills, and the
The people, the space. Well, Tasmania's very dry. So people go there think it's going to be beautiful.
yep.
But it's very dry because it just drizzle. It doesn't rain. Like, you know how it like pisses down in Queensland?
Yeah.
So Queensland's very green. Like you go to like I live on the Sunshine Coast at the moment. And you go to the like Maleny and the areas there. It's
Yep.
very green.
Yeah.
I expect that in Tasmania. It's just dry.
Yeah.
I think people get pissed.
Where in Tasmania? Hobart or the L?
All of it. I'm from Hobart, but
Yep.
like all of it's pretty.
What's the L word again? Lawncaster?
Launceston.
Launceston, yeah.
The L word.
Yeah. I signed up to do the Cadbury Marathon. Have you heard of this?
Yeah. I've heard of Cadbury's,
There's a big marathon that they sponsor down there, and I pulled out because I forgot to train.
Yeah.
It's one of those, like, I thought, I love chocolate, I love running.
Yeah, put them together.
This is going to be incredible.
They don't work.
No, but looks good though. Looks like it would be a nice event.
Yeah, I know where Cadbury's is. I don't know the area. I don't know where that runs. But my dad, he ran marathons, so he did it.
Nice.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. He ran the Ross to Richmond, which is 100 Ks.
Wow,
Ran
okay.
100 Ks,
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's dumb. But
Are you, so now you don't play cricket anymore?
No.
What sports do you do now?
Nothing at the moment. Yeah. I try to play Australian rules, being a Tasmanian. That is our football code. So I was playing Australian rules on the Sunshine Coast, signed up for Div 3, and most blokes were 40 plus, which is all right. Like, good on people,
you
40
like
plus.
The Michael Phelps of the... Were you the best player in the series?
I wasn't. That was the sad thing. Like, they were all very good players in the day.
Sure.
And then I was a young whippersnapper who wasn't touching the football.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, I sort of did the socialise because I didn't really know any people up there, but they all had families, and that was like their one outing is they were allowed to go to the football and had to go home straight away. So it wasn't as social as what I hoped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Help yourself to that water, by the way. It's yours. What else? So you studied journalism. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I did journalism. I was writing for the paper for 5 years. So.
Nice. What paper? Hobart.
Hobart, yeah. The Mercury, the Mockery, as someone would call it.
Okay.
Yeah, the Mercury. I did 2 years there. Then
what sort of were you writing? Just everything?
Sport down there.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's what I wanted to do was sports journalism.
Yeah. They got some impressive swimmers from Tasmania.
Yeah, Titmus.
Ariarne Titmus. Yeah.
Is that it?
there's a boy at the moment that's come from Tasmania. The thing though is they do a good job of like developing talent, but not keeping it. Like they all kind of piss off to like Sunshine State.
Yeah. Well, I had a few friends who were good swimmers, and they went to the Gold Coast. So they all I think Titmus went to the Gold Coast. Like they all claimed them as soon as they moved. So
okay.
There might be more that people don't know about who actually are from Tassie. But
they kind of like to keep it under wraps. Like,
they pretend that they're not. But Titmus is loud and proud about it, so that's good.
Yeah. What about, why Melbourne? Why do you want to go to Melbourne? Just the comedy scene.
Yeah, a little bit. And also I like my footy, so it'd be good to be around AFL a bit more. And also...
You'll go to watch lots of games?
Yeah, try to. I'm North Melbourne fan, so they're not very good. I know you're probably not an AFL man either.
Are they Kangaroos?
Yeah, Kangaroos.
Okay.
So we have been at the bottom the last few years.
Sure.
And we don't have many supporters, so I'll be fine getting a seat at most games. So that would be good. But yeah, just all sports. Like, it'd be good to be around that. And then, obviously the comedy scene. And my girlfriend's brother lived down there. So
yeah, cool.
Family and my half sister. I should miss her out. I had my half sister.
Have you got a job lined up?
No, I don't. No, I've been hitting up a few dodgy sales places. So I don't know if I want to do that.
I just applied for a job as well.
In doing dodgy sales?
Sort of. Well, not dodgy, no. Certainly not if they're watching this. It is like a sale, or basically a call centre job.
Yeah.
And it sounds horribly boring. And I did a phone interview the other day, and they spoke to me for 30 minutes about it. And it sounded so shit. And then at the end of the phone call, they're like, so does this sound like something you'd be interested in? I'm like, absolutely. Like, are you kidding me? 8 hours of talking on the phone every day.
I can't wait.
Indefinitely. And so, I don't know. I don't know what I want to do.
Yeah, I had similar. I had a job interview. I was meant to do it face to face, but I couldn't because I'm not down in Melbourne yet. And
Yep.
The guy, they weren't playing like good cop, bad cop. They were sort of playing like nice guy, and then the other guy like trying to hit me with hard hitting questions.
That's pretty funny. Yeah.
But his hard hitting question was like, "Oh, sorry, like put you on your feet, but if you had a podcast, who would you like to do the podcast with?"
That's funny. Had you mentioned that you do stand-up comedy?
No, I'm not telling them that.
That's weird that they mentioned the podcast thing.
Yeah, then. I said you, of course, but
No, what was your actual answer to that question?
I was trying to figure out what they wanted to hear, but I don't really listen to all those business
Can I ask
podcasts.
what industry the job was in?
So it's marketing. I think they sell marketing packages to companies.
Sure.
So I haven't got
such an interesting question. Hey, I reckon as soon as he said it, I reckon he would have felt some internal satisfying. Yeah. I reckon he would have been like, fuck, that was a good question.
Oh, I reckon he said it to everyone. I reckon that's like his. Yeah. I feel like they had sort of a script they were going on.
Sure, yep.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. Because trying to think who I would like to have on a podcast.
Yeah, well, because obviously I want someone because they want to hear that you're trying to like be driven,
Yeah,
successful
sure.
stuff. But all the podcasts I listen to are just like dumb comedy podcasts.
I mentioned that I'm a stand-up comedian on my resume as well. Because I would never have previously, but recently I'm like, they'll think I'll be more likely to get the job because they'll think I'm fun to be around. Joke's on them.
Do you put your upcoming dates just in case you're interested?
Yeah.
Go to Newcastle.
I feel like they'd like the novelty of someone in the office doing stand-up comedy, but in actual fact, it's probably like quite annoying.
Yeah, well, they'll come. Like if you start somewhere,
Yeah.
they want to go, and that's the worst thing. I don't want people.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
I think nothing worse, especially that industry. Like I'm not sure. I'll probably be saying like people at call centers and stuff. Nice people, but you know they're probably all think that they're comedians or can talk.
Yeah,
and stuff.
sure.
Yeah.
Hey, Kyle, you can use this one tomorrow night on stage. Here you go. That's what they'll say.
Yeah, exactly.
You were looking at me like, what do you got?
Yeah, I was like, what? What's your joke? Yeah, no. Yeah, you're right.
So I you might have noticed at the start of this podcast, I didn't introduce the name of the podcast. It's mostly because I don't have one yet. And I think I've told you about the premise. You know, we talk for a bit, then we pull out 3 topics from the hat.
Yeah.
I thought a cool name for the podcast would be 3 Things. 3 Things podcast.
Yeah.
Because of the 3
things that you're pointing
But then
out.
I looked it up and...
It's already something.
Yeah, it's already taken. So I thought, you know, it'd be kind of fun to ask the guest at the end of the episode, what do you reckon a good name for this is? So just something to think about.
Yeah.
And then the best answer at the end of the series, the season, will get to name the podcast.
Oh, well, it's like a competition.
Yeah. And then
Who votes?
Me.
Yeah. Maybe you could put it out.
Imagine if like all the guests had really good answers and then I thought of one. I just named it what I wanted. No, that's a good point. Maybe we should have like there's too much discretion involved if it's just me.
Just put it on an Instagram story.
Yeah.
Just put a poll up.
Yeah. And then one person will vote. And
That's all right. If it's you, then
yeah.
that's fine. And you get the final vote. No, everyone will vote for their own, won't they?
Maybe. Do you reckon we should start the topics now? Yeah.
Sounds
Did
good.
you ever do improv at all?
No, never done improv.
Not necessarily.
I
Doesn't
did-
have to be improv. It could just be the topic could remind you of a story from your childhood, and you could be like, "Oh, this reminds me of ...
Well, I did drama at school.
Oh yeah,
There's a little bit of improv.
yeah, nice.
Also, I've spoken to people before, so that's a bit of improv, isn't it?
No, I prefer not to improvise conversations. I prefer to go in.
You go in scripted.
You're the guest, so I'll let you choose first.
Okay. What have we got here? We have singing.
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 Are you a singer?
I've sung on stage now, but
When? Oh yeah,
I do it for comedy.
How
Yeah.
fucking dumb. I've
you watch
seen
me.
you perform so many times. Far out, yeah. Yeah, no, you're a great singer.
When?
You're one of the few. You're one of the few that I'm so impressed by. Like, because you know, like you would have heard this a lot, but like comedy and music, often someone's really funny or really good at singing.
Yeah.
But like when it comes together, like Flight of the Conchords or like Jude Pearl, or like I'm so impressed when I see like funny people that can sing as well.
Who are some bad? Like who are people who haven't quite got that?
I'm not gonna. We'll talk about it after the pod, but it's so good. So do you reckon? Yeah, you're an incredible singer. Look him up on YouTube or Instagram. You'll see some clips. Do you think you're going to go pursue musical comedy, or do you think you kind of just do that for a bit of fun?
Don't know yet, to be honest. So I just did a split with Britt Kine in Adelaide.
Yeah.
So that was probably my first.
One of my favourite things about that show that I saw that you guys did at Good Chat was that little combined song that you did at the end.
Yeah.
And Britt's like, I can't sing, but she can. She did a good job.
Yeah, it's the best
But
thing
it
with
was
me.
so freaking funny. That song was the best. Did you do the song in Adelaide at the end?
We did, yeah.
Yeah.
To oh no, it went pretty well. I was going to say to mixed results, but it went pretty well.
Okay.
Yeah. We won't give it away because we might do a split show again, but there's a theme topic for the song, so
Yeah.
maybe a few of those people were in the audience, which might not have helped.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, come and watch it if we're doing more split
Yeah.
shows at some point.
Do you sing in the car at home or in the car at home?
Yeah,
In the car or at
I
home?
normally park in the driveway. I just put the music
the
on.
engine on.
Yeah. Just blast it out. But on the road, I'm concentrating. You know.
Yeah. I'm a horrible singer, but I love to sing, especially when I'm driving.
Yeah.
And I'd go windows down. I don't even care. Sing in the shower. It's good.
Why windows down?
I'm not embarrassed of people hearing me sing. I'm a bad singer. I don't.
Let's put the aircon on. Why hand the windows down?
Yeah, I don't know the acoustics.
yeah, fair enough.
So, who's your favourite singer?
Favorite singer? Or as in Just musicians I like, or
You
as
can
in
choose
like
whatever you
actual
want.
really good singer. Yeah,
Whatever you
I'll
want.
I'll go both then.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. I'll go both in one at the moment as a musician. Ty and James Organ.
Never heard of them.
No, we'll have a listen.
Sing what they sing. What's one that I'd know?
They did a cover of the Kooks Naive. Does that help you?
Oh, I just love that you chose the cover.
Yeah, well, that's
Sorry,
on
I
for
just
like a version.
blew the sound probably.
They did a like a version. That's how most people get famous.
Yeah, no, I
They
love
like Australian.
Triple J like a version. Yeah,
That's a good way to get in.
yeah.
So look that up.
Anything I'd know? Have you heard of the Kooks?
Yeah, well, have you heard of the Kooks?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good option then.
I know, you know.
Yeah, it's like that, but good. Yeah.
Okay, and who's your favourite musical comedian?
Cameron James at the moment.
Oh yeah, the small penis or medium penis
Yeah,
guy. Yeah,
like I've watched his last.
he's got a song with that name.
Last couple
I've
shows
not seen
been
him in the
good.
toilets.
Yeah, no. Yeah, his last 2 shows been good. Yeah.
Yeah, but
So,
the third last one, it's not good.
Well, I don't think he was doing musical comedy
Oh,
until
sure.
his
Okay.
last.
Yeah.
So I could be wrong. I didn't see it.
It's just
but
trying
yeah.
to throw you under the bus.
Yeah. No, I think he's started doing. Well, he's now done his third. I haven't seen his latest one.
Yeah.
Of this festival run, but yeah, they were pretty inspirational to me in like how to structure comedy with music.
Yeah. Have you watched Jude Pearl yet?
No,
I've been
Yeah, I
talking
know. I
about
need
her
to.
for years, and you just don't refuse.
I've known you a
She-
week, but yeah,
She's incredible. I love her so much. Anyway, okay. Next topic.
Next topic.
I don't know why I looked before I. This one says local hiking trails. You know, I didn't like come up with all these. I Googled late last night because I realized that we're doing this today. I'm like talking topics. And I think it was like, I can't remember what website I got these off, but I have a feeling that it's like, these are talking topics for highly anxious people, Tick, around the water cooler. I think they're
right.
like water cooler topics.
Yeah,
Like, and
that's such a bad one.
yeah.
If I was around the water cooler,
Like,
someone's
hey,
like,
you got any local hiking trails?
actually, that's what. If you were around the water cooler and someone's like, "Do you sing?" That's weird. How is that? That's way better. At least that's like, "Oh, do you hike?" Like, who just says, "Oh yeah, I just put the windows down and I just park the car at home and sing." Like, how's that coming up? Or do they mean like you should sing? Like when you get to the water cooler?
That's so funny.
That's such a bad. Like, what's it mean?
That's so funny.
And if you just read, like, if you've Googled that, like, I'm guessing you've Googled this on,
Yeah.
you've been
Google.
like, what's the best
Talking topics.
icebreakers?
Yeah.
and it just says singing. Like, would you take that as, oh, I should sing?
I think it means like if you're standing at the water cooler, hey, you like music? Should
Yeah, but
say music. Who's your favourite singer? And you'd be like, you heard of the Kooks?
Yeah.
Yeah, not them. Someone is.
I covered them. But say favourite singer or like
Yeah.
why singing?
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, hiking.
Yeah, I didn't
trails.
have you on to just like berate me about it. So,
It's not you. It's Google.
So you live at the sunny coast. We still got to talk about this topic. You'd have some incredible. Do you walk for fun, or just to go places?
Bit of both. Oh, I don't really. I'll run a bit. Yeah, I run more than walk.
You live. I can say this now because you're moving, but you lived in Coolum for a long time, right?
I did. Yeah.
The most so beautiful up there. So you would have done the Coolum Mountain.
Yeah. Mount
Should
Coolum.
be called a mountain. Yeah,
Mount
Coolum.
Coolum, yeah.
It's a hillock. It's a hill.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's
a
got-
really nice walk, but
Yeah.
it's
good view. Why
Yeah.
do you say it's terrible? What do you mean?
It's very busy, and the trail up there's very thin,
Okay.
so that's why it's terrible. If you go at the right time, it's good.
Okay. So what's a good walking trail up there, would you say? Hell's Gate at Noosa? That's a really good one
Yeah,
in the national park.
probably all of them. To be honest, it's just you just got to pick the right time. It's
Yeah.
really busy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, people like walking with Sunshine Coast.
Yeah.
/ Noosa.
Or if you came to this podcast, you know, because you're interested in walking trails and you live in Brisbane, the Raven in Chermside West is really good as well. You wouldn't Chermside. I don't know if you know Brisbane very
Never
well.
heard of Chermside.
You wouldn't think of like trail walks in Brisbane, but this is probably the closest one to Brisbane City, and it's just beautiful. Lots of trees and bush.
Bush.
It's really good.
And it's green.
I don't know why I said bush like that.
It's green.
Yeah, lots of greenery.
Unlike Tasmania.
We're running out of time. This is going real quick. It's amazing how your turn now.
Oh, great.
Don't look at the.
I got one. Yeah, I got one. It's a long one. What was the traffic like? That's not terrible.
That's definitely a water cooler
Yeah, that's
topic.
not terrible.
What was the traffic like for you?
Well, I drove down. I drove.
Yeah, what was the
from
traffic
Sunny
like?
Coast.
That's
pretty good.
relevant.
Pretty
Okay.
good. Yeah, yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Now we'll just sit here awkwardly for 5 minutes, as you would do at the water cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah, no traffic, isn't it?
But you drove down. What time did you get here?
Yeah, I got here at 9.
Yeah. What's your traffic like?
Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah. Oh, that's great then.
This has been really fun, Kyle. But no, what else can we talk about with traffic? It's one of those things too. Sometimes like you plan a trip to take a certain time, but then the traffic kind of makes the trip go longer.
Oh, that happened to me on Thursday night.
Yeah.
I was doing Hard Laughs,
Yep.
which is near the Gabba.
Yeah, great gig.
Yeah.
Chadwicker.
Yeah. And I just kept going the wrong lane. I get really confused in Brisbane. So I always put maps on.
Sure.
And it's not really where I normally go. Like I'm normally in this area, like the Caxton, Paddington, West End area for gigs, and it's going to the Gabba, and just kept going the wrong lane.
Yeah.
I spent to be like an hour and 10 drive. It was 2 hours in the car.
Yeah.
Like I left early.
Yeah.
because I was aiming to have dinner before it, which I didn't get to have.
Yeah, but you were on time for the gig.
Yeah, I'm made for the gig.
Do the Gabba, Wollongabba, do they do cricket as well or just AFL?
Yeah, cricket ground. Yeah.
Okay. Have you gone there very much?
Went to one cricket game there. Gone there a couple of times for footy, but
Yep.
they sort of compete.
Sure.
So
Okay, yeah. The cricket don't like the AFL and all that
yeah,
sort of stuff.
I think they got a new groundsman.
You know what? Fuck them both off and let's build an
Yeah.
Olympic stadium.
Yeah, where?
The Gabba. Get rid of
At
the
the
Gabba.
Gabba, yeah.
Jeez, this is going to get us some good views on this episode. We're pretty much nearing the end of the episode now, Kyle. I really appreciate you being a guest on today's podcast, which I'm going to ask you now, one, to name the episode. We need a name for the episode, just to surprise you with that one.
Yeah.
And what's your potential name for the podcast?
This might be breaking the rules. Can I know what the other people have put in?
We recorded those weeks ago. I have no idea.
You can't remember that week.
No, actually, Jamison's episode was because I kept drinking coffee into the microphone.
That's pretty funny.
And Lily Mitchell's episode name was Favorite. What's your favorite? ... Because I just kept asking her what her favorite movie and comedian and TV show was.
Were they the questions in the hat? Like,
No, that's just my go-to.
just
trying to find
it was around the water
information.
cooler.
Yeah, maybe that's what this should be.
Around the water cooler.
Water cooler questions.
Yeah. I want to put your name in the title.
Okay,
So
go ahead.
the water cooler with Codie, but
Okay.
I'd prefer like cuddles with Codie.
Sure.
Just like the sound of it. But I also like your idea.
Cuddles with Codie for the podcast name, and then water cooler for the episode. Is that what you're saying?
Maybe the other way around.
Okay.
Maybe around the water cooler with Codie Grimsey and his friends.
Yep.
Can we make it longer?
Yeah.
Around the water cooler with Codie Grimsey and his friends from the Brisbane comedy scene and surrounds.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Rolls off the tongue.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Kyle, for being a part of today.
Thanks for having me.
And thanks for watching. Like and subscribe and stuff like that. And where can we find you in Melbourne and on social media?
Yep. Kyle Wizard on Instagram is probably the easiest one.
All right. See ya.